Good day to you. This is Todd. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, today we talked about 7 qualities of Esther yesterday, good qualities. Today we're going to be talking about Haman's rage and how his rage led to a fall, really. Okay. And ultimately you're going to see here that rage and anger will lead you to destruction. Okay. If you don't control it, give it to God, it will lead to your destruction. Okay, so, and this is like a perfect example of that. So today we're going to be reading from Esther chapter 5, verses 9 through 14. So if you have your Bibles like I do, you can turn there and read with me. All right, so it says this. Remember, yesterday we talked about how they were at a banquet that Esther had put on, and she said, okay, come back tomorrow, and then I'll tell you what my wish is. Okay, so naturally Haman is like all excited because he's been invited to a banquet, not once but twice by the queen. So verse 9, Haman went out that day happy and in high spirits when he saw Mordecai at the king's gate, and observed that he neither rose nor showed fear in his presence. He was filled with rage against Mordecai. Nevertheless, Haman restrained himself and went home. We had talked about this already, how Mordecai was not bowing down to anybody. Okay, he was taking seriously his commitment to the Lord, and he wasn't going to be bowing down to anybody. And we had talked about how that happened earlier with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Okay, so Haman sees this, and he's burning in anger, but he controls it until he gets home here. Okay, so let's see what happens. Calling together his friends and Zeresh's wife, verse 11, Haman boasted to them about his vast wealth, his many sons, and all the ways the king had honored him, and how he had elevated him above all the other nobles and officials. So yeah, he had a vast wealth, and we've already talked about the amount of money he planned to give to the king to get rid of the Jews. Okay, that amount of wealth, and then he was like second in command of everything there. All right, verse 12, and that's not all. Haman added, I'm the only person Queen Esther invited to accompany the king to the banquet she gave, and she has invited me along with the king tomorrow. But all this gives me no satisfaction as long as I see that Jew Mordecai sitting at the king's gate. He just bragged about everything he had. And for us, we'd be like, man, if I had just a portion of what he had, I'd be as happy as a clam, But he had all this, yet this little thing that Mordecai was not bowing down to him blew him up. Okay, so he said, all this gives me no satisfaction. You got to be kidding me. That stuff doesn't give you any satisfaction because you're so filled with anger. So see, anger is going to destroy. It's already destroying him, and because he's not satisfied with anything, but it's going to lead to complete destruction. Verse 14, his wife Zeresh and all his friends said to him, have a pole set up and reaching to the height of 50 cubits, and ask the king in the morning to have Mordecai impaled on it. That is 50 cubits. That's about 75 feet high. Okay, so and again, some translations read a gallows hung, a gallows set up that's 75 feet high, and then in this translation here it says have a pole set up that you would impale that person on. So back then, the Persians, they were popular not with hanging people, but with impaling them like that. So they'd have this monster pole that's 75 feet high, and then impale the person on that. And I imagine it'd be like a tower, because I don't know of a pole that's 75 feet high. That's like 7 stories, okay, over 7 stories tall. So that would be in that town, in Susa, there's probably nothing even close to that high, okay? So the purpose of putting it up that high is so that everybody can see, okay? And it would be an example like we talked about with crucifixion. Crucifixion was set up to show you it as an example so you don't do the same thing. So Haman is setting this up so that to show, if you don't respect me, the same thing's going to happen to you, you know. And it's very visible to everybody. Okay, so they'd have this, probably most likely like a tower set up, and then a pole upon that tower. It'd be hard to find a pole 75 feet high, but so they have that, and then they would impale him on that and leave him up there for everyone to see. Okay, again, way the rage was controlling him way beyond what was even reasonable. Okay, if a guy is making you angry, I mean, he can put him in jail or something, but oh no, he has to like kill him in such a public way, like that so everyone can see it. Okay, and so his wife, his good wife, suggests he do that. Huh? You're gonna see she tells him some stuff later on. It's like, oh, that's not such a good wife. But anyway, this last sentence here. Then go with the king to the banquet and enjoy yourself. This suggestion delighted Haman, and he had the pole set up. Okay, so he gets home that night, has the pole set up. He must have had a crew working during the night, setting up this pole. And his plan was, in the morning, he was going to go to the king and say, hey, I'd like for you to give me permission to kill Haman on this very public pole and do that. And so we're going to see, because you'll see through this whole book of Esther, the Lord is working everything out, and it's changing everything. Haman thought he had everything planned out. It's going to be completely opposite. The Lord is working throughout this whole thing, through things that look little, but in the end you're going to go, oh wow, all that stuff tied together, the way the Lord was working. So, but the big thing today is rage will lead to destruction, and you're going to see it's already started with Haman, and it will complete as we continue on through the book of Esther. All right, thanks for watching. I'm just a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue our journey through the book of Esther. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.